Alright, we're trying to get this last panel in, and of course this one has a few difficulties. It just has so many layers. We're going to try and dress them with spacers, but so I can't quite make the panel I want. But we've installed 16 riv nuts in here, and unfortunately Ram made some mess ups, and Fiat in Europe made some mess ups and drilled some holes I couldn't use, so I had to re-drill a couple. We also added 4 holes, 2 in the middle on this side and 2 in the middle over there to hold the panel and suck it in, because again there's a slight curvature to the van, and we're finding that because we're using 9mm instead of 6, just that extra thickness is making it a little bit more difficult to try and get this panel sorted out and in the right shape and position. And the hardest part we had here is actually trying to align all the holes, because, and we don't know if we've succeeded yet, because the plastic actually has several layers to it, levels to it that vary by nearly 1.5 to 2 inches in height. So we're going to try and pre-fit it and see how bad we are with the holes, but you can see the issues we're running into where just different levels. They're going to have to be spaced. Alright, so this is the back of our final panel there, the panel that's immediately behind the driver's seat. And what we're doing here with the clamps is we've made the panel out of 9mm Meranti marine grade plywood. I've also added a 9mm spacer at the top and bottom, and the spacer at the top and bottom is to help with the offset in the steel work. So we're waiting for the glue to dry on the bottom here, but apart from the fact that the clamps are still on there, this is kind of how the panel's going to look. What we're about to do next after that is we have a emergency toilet where the lid lifts, so we're restricted to how much cabinet we can put, but a cabinet system is going to go just below these 2 holes across there. So once this glue dries, we're actually going to put 2 more reinforcing bits across the middle here, and that'll allow us to put these 5/16 threaded inserts in from behind, so that we'll end up using these to hold the cabinetry on the wall. So we're going to end up putting some spaces here across, 2 more, and then these threaded little inserts will actually get countersunk in from behind and get screwed in with 3 little screws. We're going to put 6 of them, 2 in the middle, 2 and 2 either side, and that'll give us our mounting screws for our cabinetry. So that's where we're heading with this last panel that we've got to put up. Alright, we're trying to beat the rain. It's going to rain in a minute. But what you're doing here is this, you're looking at the final part of our panel. We're going to screw it up for the final time in a minute. And what you're looking at here is just 8 temporary screw blocks. They're just temporary. The reason that these little blocks are here is I'm actually holding the insert and the reinforcing plywood on the back. So because I got the screws the right length for when I actually screw the cabinet on, I just had to put a spacer on. So all these screws are doing right now is holding the reinforcing wood on the back and just clamping it while the glue dries. So from the front it looks something like this. The cabinet on this one's going to come across here like this, and then because we have a toilet and I don't want to bang our heads and stuff, it's going to come up a little bit like this and go across here. So essentially it's going to come across, go up and across, and that will be our 2 cabinets that go on this piece, and these 8 bolts will be to secure it. So, and they're fully metal threaded insert. When you look from the back, this is the panel from the back. you can see that we had to space it with 6mm marine grade plywood just to give the thickness because of the depth of these. But you can see here that we've inserted 8 inserts and they got 3 screws in each to hold them and stop them from returning later. You can also see across the bottom, to make this all work with the existing layout of the changes of the angle in the metal, you can see there's no spacer on the right hand side, which is closest to the driver. There's a 6mm spacer, 9mm spacer along the bottom here. There's a 6mm just on the side where 2 screws are, but it doesn't go all the way so that the plywood can curve a little bit. And unfortunately on top, we actually got a 9 and a 6, so all up it's 15mm spacer up top here where it's going to go across the top. So that is ready to insert. So we've got 9mm spacer, 15mm and 6mm on the side here. And we're going to try and screw this thing in. Right, the last piece is in. I know it looks a bit hodgepodge right now with all those blocks on there, but we're about to take them off. But the reason that we're doing a slightly different design is that we're going up here. It's just to make sure when you use the emergency thing, or you're getting in here, you have a bit of head clearance. So that's why we're going to come across here, go down there, and then go all the way across. And it'll go all the way up, and it'll actually come up to the ceiling of the cabinet, so you won't see any of this when it's finished. Hopefully you won't see any of it. So that's the plan. The cabinets will go all the way up to the ceiling. It should hide that up there, and these are 8 mounting bolts for the cabinets.